Let's start with Janet Yellen's visit to India, her third in 9 months. What will be her strategy at the G20?
Yeah, well, this is another opportunity to continue this diplomatic push that we've seen, obviously, from the cabinet members of the Biden administration. You've had Blinken go to Beijing. You had Yellen go to Beijing. Yellen also, of course, keep in mind, went to Japan, G7. So her engagement with the Asia-Pacific is intensifying. As you rightfully said, this will be her third trip to India in the last 9 months. She says, again, that India is an indispensable partner in the Biden administration policy of friendshoring and securing supply chains and diversifying away, perhaps, from over-reliance on China. But the main story, again, really with Kerry in Beijing and Yellen in G20, which, of course, China and Russia, for that matter, are members of the G20, is really to find ways, and these are her words, to find ways to further de-escalate tensions with China. But again, one of the main sticking points are those Trump-era tariffs. And I guess the biggest piece of news that we got from a bit of a press conference from Janet Yellen yesterday was the fact that it would be premature to relax those Trump-era tariffs at this point in time. But again, she says the Biden administration is nearing a completion of a near 4-year review process of those Trump-era tariffs. So it is a sticking point in relations with China, and China has been pushing for some relaxation, if not elimination of those tariffs. Doesn't look like, according to the Treasury Secretary, that's going to happen anytime soon.
Steve, there's a lot of sticking points, but climate, is this one area where we could see, some deliverables, some more collaboration from Kerry's trip?
Well, I think they both, obviously, as the two biggest emitters of greenhouse gases, China and the United States, they have common areas of concern, obviously, but can they work together? And I think that, again, I talked about the diplomatic push. This is another example of a senior cabinet official going to Beijing and at least engaging with the Chinese leadership on key areas where they can cooperate, economic issues as well as climate issues. John Kerry is the climate envoy for the Biden administration, but really there have not been any protracted talks between China and the United States on climate change in nearly a year. China basically severed a top-level dialogue, including on climate change issues, after that August of last year visit to Taiwan by then House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. So this will be the first time since last August, or about a year, that they're going to sit down. 3 full days of discussions and dialogue in Beijing between the two biggest emitters of greenhouse gases. So that alone is progress. Whether they can find any common ground on targets, I doubt it, and I don't think that that's necessarily going to be the deliverables. But they're going to talk about, efficiency of the power grid and, again, overall efforts, joint efforts, because John Kerry says the world is looking at the two biggest emitters to find some commonality and to basically eliminate those greenhouse gases and work together on areas of doing that. So, again, the fact that they're talking and having 3 days of substantive talks is progress.